is a blue tiger, elliptical, seated elliptical machine. My mother's neurologist wanted her to do 10 to 15 minutes twice a day until we came back for a follow-up appointment in 6 weeks. Like everything else in my life regarding my mother, this has been living hell. She hems and haws. She doesn't want to do it. I end up sitting on this couch, having this that way. She's there. And this pedal closest to me, I was moving for her to help her along. Then suddenly she can't move the opposite pedal. She's done it for like 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay? It's like pulling teeth. And for whatever reason here in Hellville, I actually hurt myself like doing it. Like if this doesn't sum up my life, I don't know what would or does or will or whatever. I'm done. I had told her, I gave him my word. The only reason we're even going back there for a follow-up appointment is so he can see if her muscles got better. Okay? She doesn't want to do it. I hurt myself moving the damn pedals for her sitting there. Did I think that would happen? No, of course not. I never think things are going to happen, and then they do. Not in a million years did I think if I'm moving this pedal for her, helping her, because I'm just so tired, you know? I'm hurt now. I'm hurt. I can feel it. It's hurt. Hopefully it won't stay that way, but, you know, if that doesn't sum up my life, like, and it hurts. It's like even though it wasn't repetitive motion, like day after day after day, it was probably, maybe it gave me instant tendinitis, I don't know. Just add it to the list. Add it to the list. Real. But you gotta always appreciate what you have, right? Things could be a lot worse. I started feeling sick a week ago, and it never got worse. It didn't get better. It's just lingering on. So is it a cold? Is it allergies? Even though, you know, I read you can get allergies. Suddenly you can be allergic to a food, allergic to whatever that you were never allergic to in your life. When you get older, see, everything starts falling apart. I told my mom, we just have to continue for another couple of weeks or so doing this, twice a day for 10 minutes. And then you can tell him to his face, you don't want to do it, you don't care. We're just trying to have you mess. I'm just tired. It's always about her. I hurt myself moving this goddamn pedal floor. She's like, I can't do this other side. Like when I don't have to reach and I'm just doing this one side and lying down on the couch or sitting on the couch and just doing it. It's been okay. But suddenly yesterday it wasn't. Maybe I moved it at the wrong angle. Maybe I'm just in hell. But whatever. I iced it with vegetables that I'm not going to waste them, so now I have to cook them. Joe always says, though, things can always be worse. You have to appreciate what you have. You have to appreciate what you have. In my book, that doesn't even remotely mean you have to be happy, okay? There are people like Chesley Christ who get to have a lot, okay? She was an extra correspondent. She was a beauty queen winner. She won Miss America, or Miss USA, whatever she won. She won one of those major ones. She was a established fucking lawyer. She could have been a track star, but she didn't put the effort into it or something. Okay, the list goes on, and she was stunningly beautiful, and she ended her own life by leaping from high rise at age 30. So, did you guys hear about that judge? The sheriff, who was his longtime friend, blew the judge away, killed him in his own chambers. It's on video. It's on video. There's no denying that it happened. It was caught all on camera. They're trying to charge the sheriff with first-degree murder, but it was second degree. They want it reduced to manslaughter, his lawyers. Like, it's that kind of stuff. Like, what the fuck? It reminds me of some of those movies I've seen and hated, where someone, like, they're helplessly doing stuff, you know? Like The Signal or Bird Box, or there's been others. Maybe I haven't seen them, or I know there's others where it's not your fault, but like, what the fuck? They say it's for, that was his friend of a long time. Why did he do that? I'm never gonna get over that. Something like that just, like, it's gonna just eat away at me. Something like that is going to eat away at me. I can't believe this fucking thing. My mother just, why do I have to obsess and try to make, you don't want to do this on your own. You want me to push the pedals for you, and I end up hurt. I'm hurt right now. I'm hurt. It could be something that could last for weeks. Who knows? Like, I can feel it. And it was from pushing these pedals for her. I'm always trying to make things better for her. She doesn't want to do this. We did it for a month. We didn't miss most days. We did at least one day. And then suddenly she's like regressing, where she doesn't want it. She's able to not even, she doesn't, I'm just, fuck it, I don't care. I don't care if you walk. I don't care if you walk again. I can't do this. Like, everything is about her. And when she doesn't want to do something, then I feel like, well, I gave the doctor my word, but you're going to do it. It's pulling teeth. And then I was sick. She doesn't do it. She doesn't want to do it. Good. Fuck it. Fuck it. I don't care. I hurt myself. That's it. It's over. Fuck it. Throw the damn thing away. And then her and her stupid obsession. She wants to have an exercise class here. She wants to set up her rebounder over there where we have a big table and there's nowhere to put it. She wants to, we have her room all safe. We have her room all safe, all rearranged, all beautiful. Does she appreciate that? No, I want my rebounder back in here. I want it in here. I want to have an exercise. I want to do this. I want to see my sister at that table. I want to do it. In Kentucky, I cannot believe that. But I also can't believe there are people siding with the sheriff. He blew this man away in cold blood. The guy was cowering while he was killing him. Like, begging for his life. Like, you can't side with him. And then there's rumors that it has something to do with the judge's 17-year-old daughter or something or other. still, you can't go around just killing people. I mean, it's horror. It's horror that severely affects me. Oh, well, her in La La Land, and I want to do this, and I want to sue my sister, and I want to go here or there or whatever, and walk, but, well, the wheelchair can't go down the steps. You're going to walk in the walker. I don't think you're going to get that far, Mom. It'll be more difficult to walk around up and down the street or whatever than it will in this house with the rugs. And speaking of the wheelchair and whatnot, this place is a shithole, so it doesn't really matter. It's being sold as is. We don't have a penny to fix it up in any universe, okay? We're poorer than we've ever been because we've added expenses. Right? She bangs that damn wheelchair into the bottoms. I see the bottoms of the wood all wrecked. I can tell everywhere she's banging into everything. We could never stay with Joe. I've been to his beautiful house, okay? That he keeps immaculate, etc., etc., and it's not wheelchair compatible, okay? But I'm running this fucking household, and I'm taking care of an adult child, and we're not staying here. And we're not staying in this state either, because if we stayed in this state and bought something here, we'd still have no money in the bank. We'd be in the same fucking situation. That's not even addressing the fact that I have no life here to speak of. For the most part, the only reason my mother's bedroom is rearranged is because that particular woman from church who I had never met before, she came into my mom's life when she was me to know her, to show up here, whatever, but she's not my mother's friend. Okay, they're not her friends. They don't hang out and confidant and all this crap like her mentally ill friends. Okay, but the only reason her room is all rearranged, which she should appreciate. And instead, it's like, I want the rebounder back. I want this, I want that, because she's out of her mind crazy. That's all it is. And you can say, well, just ignore her. Yeah, it's hard to ignore her when she goes on and on and on and on. I just want peace, okay? I went for a short walk yesterday. I had to go and get her meds, or some of her meds. They were all coming up at different times, which is even more hellish for me as it gets colder or winter or whatever. Then Joe's like, nobody's gonna buy anything in these months or these. I don't fucking care. You should just put it on hold if you don't sell it in a couple. I don't fucking care. I don't care. If I can sell it in the middle of fucking winter, I will. I don't care. And someone else was saying, if you sell it, how are you gonna be gone? Because it'll be a stipulation where we have 4 weeks to get out of here, obviously. Can't sell it and be out the next day. That'll be an upfront stipulation. I don't want to hear it from Joe. I don't want to hear it from anybody. Okay? I am fucking done. This is just, all those burst pipes. And then our kitchen sink is leaking in the top. It's been leaking for, we don't even get that fixed. It's just, you see it on video on Inside Edition on World News tonight. It's just on again last night. The sheriff, and it was his friend, a long time, decades, long time. The sheriff's a family man. If nothing else, like, why did you do that? You're going to spend the fucking life, you're going to spend a long time in prison, even if they reduce the charge from first-degree murder. Like, why the fuck did you do that? Will the truth come out? Will we even get to know why he did it? Because even if it has to do with he thinks the judge was having relations with his daughter, you can't do that. You can't just blow someone away. Like, why are you going to do that and then spend the rest of your life, or spend decades, or potentially the rest of your life in prison? It doesn't make any sense. Again, stuff like that doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense. Psychopath murderers, even spouses or boyfriends or girlfriends who killed their mates or boyfriends, that makes more sense to me. Especially since the one Dateline that I recently watched, he threw his life away, but he thought he'd get away with it. He killed the mother of his 2 children. She adored the kids, and she was a really, really good person. And everyone thought they were married, but they weren't. And he had a beautiful voice. He was a talented musician. He was trying to go places. He wrote songs. He was attractive, and he killed her. I believe it was him and not his new wife. It was a custody battle, and he tried to get away with it by chopping up her body. But he's caught and he's in jail, and his wife accomplice, because it's a he said she said, and he's going to say she did it and we covered it up. He's going to say she did it and covered it up. Meanwhile, this beautiful person with her friends and family just saying what a wonderful person she was. She went to visit or to see them or to get her kids because they had a split custody battle, and she goes missing, and it turns out that she was killed in the apartment, but they can't get the body out, so he's buying a saw in the middle of the night and at the Home Depot or Walmart or wherever, and buying all kinds of cleaning things. But whatever they did, they didn't leave a trace of anything, apparently, because forensics were in there trying to find even a speck of blood. They bought police, they bought whatever, and they go to her sisters, but she confessed to her sister, we did something horrible. And that I at least can understand, because they try to hide it. We try to hide it. This sheriff just went to the judge's chamber, and on camera, on all footage, he blew him away in cold blood. And there's a hell of a lot of people in our world now, in my country, not my country, probably across, anyone who's intelligent and deep, who's saying, what the goddamn fuck? What is this? And that thing with me almost a year ago, filing that complaint with the Department of Mental Health, because what I received from the hospital only after I fought to get my mother out of there. You can't use that as an excuse that you feared that I would disagree with your medical decisions regarding my mom, so that's why you weren't going to tell me, or tell me in your own good time, or not tell me at a time. You feared that I wouldn't, that it's right in documents I have now, because higher-ups are not from the hospital, higher-ups. The hospital sent me a condescending letter. Oh, blah, 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 you're wrong, blah, 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 talking to me in the letter like I'm 5 years old. They don't know what hit them. They have no idea, because they know I don't work and I don't drive, and I'm just weird, and that one time I was crying in the waiting room, because not in the waiting room, like in the lobby type thing. This was a hospital setting, and because I feared what was going to happen to my mother, getting 30 fucking milligrams of Zyprexa. And in the thing, they're throwing up dust and saying, well, she did this, and she demanded to know the PRNs, and she demanded over the phone to know how much her mother was sleeping. Yeah, I didn't do that the first time around, did I? When she was on 10 milligrams of Zyprexa. I did it when she's on 25 to 30, okay? And yeah, damn straight I did. And I have it all documented, and I read all the medical records. It was thousands of pages. And she wasn't sleeping. And the excuse for putting her on the gabapentin is, well, that's not I didn't say I didn't say a antipsychotic. I said up front, when my mother had been in there just a day or so, a couple of days, when I met her in person, the social worker and the doctor didn't want to see me. I trusted the social worker. My mother, you please don't change around her medication at all. Don't put her on anything new. Don't increase what she's on without giving me a fucking heads up, respectfully. That's all I wanted. And then on that phone call, I'm treated like a piece of dog shit. But I can't prove how I was treated on the phone call. But see, I know that's all that matters. If Joe's God exists, God knows. That's what Joe will say. People lie. I don't. That's the thing. I never lie. So all these people making shit up and saying this, that, or whatever. Even the replacement psychiatrist was like referring to me. Well, she's basically a pain in the ass. She wanted to know this and wanted to know that. Yeah, I'm her invoked healthcare proxy. You've deemed her incompetent. I have every right to keep you on the phone for a fucking hour. I have every right to know how she's sleeping when you have and then you say she's on she's on the gabapentin. That was just for sleep. It wouldn't matter if you put her. It doesn't matter what you put her on. I said to the social worker, and she said, don't worry, it won't happen this time. And it happened to such a degree. And then when I have the nerve to be upset about it, because 5 days later I find out, or 4 days later I find out that you did that after you left me a voicemail saying we're keeping stuff the same. If you have a problem with that, give us a call. And then suddenly, because my mom's out of control, you don't bother to talk to me. And in the documents, the excuse they're given is because I would have disagreed with them. Honestly, at that time, remember, I learned weeks later. And by the way, the excuse that she was put on gabapentin for sleep, she wasn't sleeping. That's why I wanted I have it all documented. She wasn't sleeping at all. It's just another fucking medication, and they're making excuses. And this document uses the word illegal, so they learned, didn't they? You can't just do whatever you please with my incompetent mother when you've deemed her incompetent and invoked me, her healthcare proxy. You cannot do that in this life because you fear the fucking healthcare proxy of your patient who you don't own might disagree with you. Justifiably, you damn straight I would have disagreed with her being on 30 milligrams of Zyprexa a day. And at one point, I found out that her blood levels tested high for it. But the replacement psychiatrist had a little meeting with me and said, your mom's been doing better. I'm going to reduce her Zyprexa, and hid from me the fact that the Zyprexa, that your blood levels are tested high. The only reason I found that out was because I happened to, just by chance, call up the night before. And after hours, and a nice nurse, sometimes they could say, we're busy, we're this, we're that, because I read in the medical records I'm a pain in the ass, okay? They don't use those terms, but it's implied. Tough fucking shit. You're used to everybody just going along with whatever, okay? That's why you don't like me, and you wanted to just hide whatever you were doing. I found out that my mother's blood levels had tested high. These people didn't bother to tell me. Do you think my complaint in my original 10-page letter, it all says everything, but I can't prove all of that, so we just focused on what a child can understand. I'm the invoked healthcare proxy. I was unable to talk to the doctor who doesn't like me from the time before because I don't just go along with everything she wants to do, okay? And I said to the social worker, please don't have a repeat. I'm telling you, I'm demanding up front, I'm instructing you, there is not to be a repeat of last time where nobody even told me my mother was increased from 5 milligrams of Zyprexa to 10, which remember, she wasn't on Zyprexa, that was a new medication that psychiatrist had put her on, okay? And no one bothered to even tell me. I found out accidentally because they were switching up psychiatrists and I found out by accident. That's not right at all. And then they said, well, we told your mother, by the way, I'm the invoked healthcare proxy. You can't tell my mother, you have to tell me. So they did wrong things the first time around, and I let it all go and didn't file it. Like this time it wasn't going to, okay? A child could understand it. I'm the invoked healthcare proxy. I told you up front. You tell me, you give me a heads up about anything you do with my mother's medication that changes what she was on at home. Anything at all. They didn't do it. It's fucking illegal. Period. Child can understand it. These people want to kick up dust and say, well, I'm a pain, but she would have, it's right there, like she would have said no, or she would have said you can't do that. Well, at that time I didn't believe I had any right to say anything, but it doesn't matter. You can't. She's condescending to us. You go around thinking that my mom, I heard that my mother, who's elderly on dementia with heart problems, in the black, and can have 40 milligrams a day. Okay? Like, fuck you. I would have been upset. You can't not run, when you invoke a healthcare proxy, you cannot choose to not run medical decisions by that healthcare proxy, because you know that healthcare proxy is a pain in the ass and isn't going to go along with everything you say. You can't do that legally. Period. And I knew that. I knew it. So I pushed this, and it took everything out of me. Okay? But it was worth it, because I did get some vindication in the end. I will still disagree vehemently, and I know in my gut I'm right. No matter what anybody says, higher up and higher up and higher up, that even regarding the ones that I gave permission for her to treat, that doesn't mean you can treat with as much as you want without telling me. It doesn't. I don't care. It has nothing to do with it being psychiatric, with it being, I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with it being antipsychotic. It's psychiatric medication, period. I don't have to, I mean, I'm the invoked healthcare proxy. I don't have to just go along with everything you say, and if you fear I'm not going to go along with it, you hide it from me, that's fucking illegal. You do what you please, and then give the excuse, well, I ran it by my colleagues and I ran it by her outside psychiatrist. Like, that's owning my mother. So like, what the fuck, you know? Oh my God. It was worth it. I had to keep filing complaints. I had to file appeals and reconsiderations with all that crap. Because initially, even the Department of Mental Health, they're like, well, they're just not getting it. They're not getting the seriousness of this. Like, and that's not even addressing what I know and God knows happened on that phone call. I don't lie. Every fucking thing that I said that day, I created a video that fucking day, and I was crying, and I hung up with tears and whatever. I don't lie. Fucked up every which way imaginable. I have to count my losses and go to Joe's, and I'm not going to do any of this anymore, and we're going to run a farm, whatever. But and I have no hopes of ever having anything ever again in terms of romance or sex or whatever. No, you have to appreciate what you have. That's what Joe says. But I don't lie. And I know when I'm treated like fucking shit. And I do nothing to deserve it. And the people in it doing it to me are in the wrong. Period.